ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. The entire Gita Shastra, the teaching of the Gita, has been imparted blow by blow, verse by verse, question by question, answer by answer. Everything has been given. What is this knowledge of the indivisible vision of this Shastra, which says you are everything, you are the whole. There, much better. You are the whole. You are not this body, not the mind, not the senses. You are non-separate from Bhagavan. But how? That was also talked about. How it was talked about, and this was all given throughout the Bhagavad Gita, but in different ways. In the second chapter, we see a kind of a capsule form of this knowledge being given. You are the whole, and then over the sequences of chapter number 3 to 17, it is unfolded in great detail from various angles. Same knowledge, you are the whole. Chapters 3 to 6 talk about the human being from the standpoint of where the I notion first sits. First sits means what? Before the instruction. Before the instruction, where does this I sit? Where does it sit? Body, mind, senses, and then by extension, my possessions, my people, my beliefs, my notions, my ideologies. This is where the I sits there. And that is its office, that is its home. That's where it is. It doesn't go anywhere else. Goes to the office, goes to the home. That's it. Sometimes it checks out and goes on a holiday, comes back. Feels disconnected and then comes back. This is the range of the I. My people, my things, my body, and then very soon what happens to this? My people, my body, my things, me body. me people, me things. And then after that, I body, I people, I things. So the I just pervades in these areas, in these realms. And then as a result, the I is the is the cause. Wherever that I is located, that becomes the cause of suffering. Shoka. This is what happens to Arjuna. We see this. So first we have from chapters 3 to 6 Tvampada Vichara. Tvampada Vichara means a thorough shaking up, hitting the potatoes on the side of the road. When? After the harvest. So everything looks like a bunch of brown. There is dirt, which is also what? The color of reddish brown. Potato is also reddish brown. How to tell which is which? You gently beat the potato along with the plant, and the dirt loosens up, and then you have the potato. This is what we do to the word you. Shake off the body, you just do that, body falls down. Oh, am I dead? Not yet. But still, the body is not reckoned in the cognitive understanding of the word I. Why? Because the I that is described in the Bhagavad Gita is the unchanging I. That can only be referred to as the witness, the Sakshi, because everything else changes. Body changes as we speak. As we sit here, we grow older and older every minute because we always see things in the past. So by the time the light hits the eye, if you are looking at yourself in the mirror, light takes 186,000 miles per second to travel. So traveling, the light has to come to the eye and then reflect in the mirror. By the time you see yourself in the mirror, you are not seeing yourself in the present. You are seeing yourself in the past. Similarly, when we gaze at the galaxies with the telescope, we are looking at the past. Sometimes we are looking at 14,000 billion years ago. That is a lot. That's a lot of time. And so like this, the I that is objectifiable, in other words, is not reckoned into it. Into this, it's not counted in this analysis. So two things are dropped. One is that which is changing. Second is that which is objectifiable. Objectifiable means I can grasp it, I can see it, I can see that it is an object through the use of the sense organs called pramanas. So this is how the I is understood. The I is first understood by removing not I, not I, not I. Then very soon we are quick to understand something. We are quick to realize that that which is objectifiable is also that which is finite, that which is changing. That which is changing, that which comes to an end, also happens to be that which is objectifiable. This is very, very fascinating. So that which is objectifiable, if I say, aha, this is my book, this is my table, this is my pen, if I say like this, then this, the pen, book, table, etc., objects. Who am I? The subject. So then the pen, book, table, they are objectifiable, and the pen, book and table are also therefore finite. That which is objectifiable comes to an end. This too, so then we don't reckon that into the I, because the I of the Shastra is different from the I that one is familiar with. Very different. The Shastra doesn't talk of I. The Shastra talks of the I of the I. Very, very interesting. Shastra doesn't simply talk of I. So therefore, 2nd to 6th chapter was just cleaning and scrubbing this I off of everything objectifiable, everything finite. What is left? We would like to say nothing. Shunya. But is that true?
No.
No, that is not true. What is left is the one who is scrubbing and cleaning. That is the one. The cleaner is left. The cleaner is left. Who is this cleaner? The truth of the I, whose nature is revealed by the Moksha Shastra called Bhagavad Gita. So this is this is what is the happening to the revelation of the what the I is from chapters 3 to 6. And what is this I? Not the body, not the senses, not the mind, but Shuddha Chaitanya, consciousness without any name, without any form, without any function. Not a karta, not a bhokta, not a recipient of other people's action, which means what? Not guilty. And then not hurt. And then not a doer, means not guilty of anything. No guilt, no hurt, no ideologies, no form, no name, nothing, no change. Not objectifiable, and not objectifiable doesn't mean unknown. It is known as what? Aham, aham. It is known as I. It is known as I because this I happens to be self-revealing. If the I was not self-revealing, there would be no 6-month course, ever. There would be no Vedanta Shastra, no books would be written, no Adi Shankara Bhashya, everything would have been silent. Everything is hanging on the I, being self-effulgent, self-evident. Everything. Just fascinating. And so then, this self-evident, self-effulgent I is equated to something called Ishvara, someone called Ishvara. And it sounds nice, but what is this Ishvara? Same thing that we did to the potato. Which potato? Jiva, the couch potato. That's how. One who sits on the couch all day long. What did we do to the potato harvest? Just beat it on the side of the field right there, and all the non-potato went, leaving the potato. This is what we did to Jiva, Hud, Jivatvam. And the same thing from from chapters 7 through 12, we do it to the Ishvaratvam also. Ishvara potato. So Ishvara also, the Ishvara is what? The truth of Ishvara, as we know, is Shuddha Chaitanya. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Sat, Chit, Ananda. It is effulgent, it is all knowledge, and it is here forever. Does not come to an end. And what am I? Self-effulgent, all knowledge, and then I also do not come to an end. Ishvara is not an object, I am not an object. Ishvara is sensed in every thought because the truth of the thinker is Ishvara, and the thought is also non-separate from Ishvara. And the manner in which the thinker and the thought are united by any kind of a pramana. I think of ice cream, I see ice cream, and then I eat ice cream. So between me and the ice cream, there is a threefold kind of as though changes. First I become ice cream seer. Then the seer turns into ice cream wanter. Correct? Ice cream seer becomes who? Ice cream wanter. Ice cream wanter becomes who? Then ice cream buyer. Ice cream buyer becomes who? Ice cream eater. So between the I see ice cream and I eat ice cream, there is already many changes. The Atma, the I, has as though undergone. All those changes are like waves on the ocean. They are not intrinsic to the I. They are actually as though superimpositions on that I which undergoes no change. Just like if there are 10 waves, does that make the ocean big? No. If there are only 3 waves, does that take away from the ocean? Not at all. Similarly, this I as the subject is but a notion. Because the I that we are talking about is not separate from the object, not separate from the subject. The subjecthood is as though superimposed upon this I which is free of being subject. The objecthood is superimposed upon this Chaitanya Atma which is free of being object. And in between the pramana, sight, taste, etc., sense of taste, sense of smell, whatever unites the subject and object, that also is superimposed upon this I which is free of all this. Same thing is happening on Ishvara's side. Ishvara, God, upon which the whole universe is rests, and that who is non-separate from the universe and who is seen as the creator of the universe. In the same way, just as the thinker is superimposed upon this I free of being the thinker, the creatorship, creatorhood is superimposed upon the I which is free of being the cause, free of being effect, free of any transformation. And so this superimposition is necessary because we live in a manifest universe. There is no other way to understand Ishvara. We can't say, I will wait for the apocalypse. Apocalypse means what? The pralaya, some kind of a pralaya. At least our pralaya keeps repeating. But apocalypse means it will not come back. It is the end. We don't have an end in anything. That's why even after we complete, we read that same line again from the beginning. There is no end, there is no beginning. And so therefore, this we cannot say I'll wait for pralaya to get atmajnanam, to get self-instruction. I will wait because I don't want to deal with God. I don't want to deal with Ishvara. Who do I want to deal with? Shuddha Chaitanya. I just want to say hi to Shuddha Chaitanya. Sounds wonderful, but it is unfortunately spiritual romanticism. In pralaya, will you be there? No. And then, will Ishvara be there as a separate entity? No. Will Guru be there? Because you'll need a Guru, right? Will teacher be there? No. What to talk of classroom, ashrams, all that is just a moot point. And so, any kind of non-dual knowledge has to necessarily happen in a field of duality. And as long as I don't identify with the field, I am okay, says the 13th chapter. Why? Kshetram and Kshetrajna. The difference is there. I am not the field in which all activity takes place, including this body. What am I? Kshetrajna. I am the knower of this field. The body is a kshetra. The body is a kshetra for karma kshaya, for the exhaustion of all my karmas, good and bad. The jagat is a kshetra for the exhaustion of everybody's karma, good and bad. And so therefore, I am not the kshetra. Why? Because the kshetra has gunas, is caught in the spell of gunas. How many gunas? 5, right? No, okay, 3. Yeah, 3 gunas. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. And coming under the spell of the gunas, one thinks oneself to be bound, and then the chapters 13 to 17 has showed us how to the nitty-gritty of what kind of attitudes and values to have to make this journey back to ourselves, to understand what to do, what kind of a journey to have, how do I purify the heart, how do I understand the truth of myself, over and above all, how do I not get caught up in small things in the universe? How do I flip the script on Maya which is in the charge of the gunas? So Maya is giving me all these 3 gunas and I say, yes, I will take them. What will I do? I will become very, very sattvic and climb out of your enclosure before you know it. So this is all what we have seen up till now. And having given the entire Yoga Shastra, Karma Yoga Shastra, having given Brahma Vidya, which is the knowledge of oneself as free of all sorrow, all pain, Bhagavan says, Yatha ichhasi tatha kuru. This also shows the role of the Guru. Why? The Guru must not micromanage the student and to 2 minutes phone and say, what are you doing? What's going on? How is this? Because that means the Guru has no confidence in his or her teaching, even though she or he has taught. And then the student also must not be hanging on to the Angavastra, means upper cloth of the Guru. It's no different. It's no different than what? Than the baby hanging on to the mother's sari for comfort. Otherwise there is what? Separation anxiety. And so the separation anxiety from the mama is transferred to who? Guru. Guru becomes daddy, new daddy. Guru becomes new mummy. Okay? And so, iti mahabhut. May it not be like that. That is why Lord Krishna, an enlightened Guru, says, as you see fit, you do. Because the teacher also here has confidence in his own teaching. Here, this teacher, Lord Krishna, has confidence in his own teaching, and he gives the student total freedom because he knows the student will make the right decision after giving everything. He has confidence in his teaching, he has confidence in the student, and as a show of this true confidence, he says, Yatha ichhasi tatha kuru. But he is not yet willing to let him go. The teacher is not yet willing to let the student go. Why? Because there are 3-4 more days of instruction. Just like I am elongating the 18th chapter, and just like Swamiji will give Kaivalya Upanishad, few talks on summary. So in the same way, there is a little bit of an additional teaching from verses, what verse are we on?
64.
Yeah, 64 to 66 or 67. There is some additional teaching after which the summation of the whole teaching will be done. So then he says, and what is this additional teaching? The additional teaching is nothing more than what has already been taught. It is again a summation, it is again a summary, and it is just described again in the manner that Krishna loves to talk about this knowledge as the king of secrets, the secret of secrets. Why is it a secret of secrets? Even when one is told, one does not come to know. It's an open secret. That is why you see, we had so many colonizers. We had from Alexander not so great to not so great Britain. Everybody, thousands of years of colonization. They came, they saw, they conquered, they went, and then another group of people came, saw, conquered, pillaged, stole. They stole gold. They took away all the gems, and they took away all the artifacts. Even now, we have to write letters to various museums, give it back, please, this is ours. And then after some time it will come back or not, we don't know. And then they pillaged the culture, they pillaged through the artifacts. They raided the temples shamelessly and took away all the murtis. They are sitting there in a state of desecration in various museums and whatnot. And then in ruling, there is a wonderful book called The Colonizer and the Colonized by Albert Memmi. It's very nice, wonderful book. And then a French author. And then he writes that in trying to colonize a group of people, what does the colonizer have to do? The colonizer has to make them feel inferior. And then only the colonization is justified. They have to make them feel inferior. You are wrong, your father was wrong, your mother was wrong, your whole lineage was wrong. Everything was wrong. This is what was done to the indigenous cultures worldwide, everywhere. You go anywhere, and if you go to Egypt and want to meet somebody who is the descendant of somebody who made the pyramids, you will not find. Either they have been, decimated, or they have been forcibly converted. This is what happens. Forcibly proselytized, and therefore this knowledge also should have gone. Naturally, this knowledge also should have been destroyed, along with the gold, along with the natural resources, the mineral resources, and the cultural resources. This knowledge should have also been destroyed. Yet it survives against all logic, against all time, against all, it's Ashcharya. This is the Ashcharya that it has survived. And why has it survived? Because it's the best kept, absolutely best kept secret. It's right there. Nobody tried to hide the Upanishad books. And in fact, one of, what was his name? Robert Clive's assistants, Robert Clive was told that this is a very proud people. They don't succumb easily to anything. Why? Why are they a proud people? Their religion gives them, and their philosophy, oh sir, gives them the strength. Go find out. Go study with a pandit and go find out. So then we can imagine, he must have, this was all happening in West Bengal, because that's where the East India Company first came. And then what he would have, so one assistant would have gone to one Bengali Panditji, who would have, Bengali Panditji means Shukla Yajurvedi. And what is the Shanti mantra for Shukla Yajurveda? Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. This is what he would have taught. What does this mean? What does this mean? He would have asked, the clerk is impatient. He says, what is this gobbledygook? What are they saying? What does this mean? Says, the Panditji translates it very truthfully. That is whole. Okay, I'm writing it down. This is whole. Okay. When you take the whole away from the whole, what? Write it down. This is the translation. When you take the whole away from the whole, what is left is the whole. And the clerk has a question. The last whole, is it H-O-L-E or is it W-H-O-L? No, W-H-O-L. Then he says, I've had it. I'm done. Does a quick namaskar to the Panditji and has to file a, what is that? File a report in triplicate. And what does he say? The Upanishads are the prattlings of an infantile mind. And then nobody looked into it. It's just like goo goo gaga baby talk, and it's all self-contradictory, and there is nothing of value. This clerk declared. It's still there. All these kinds of things you can read in the East India office in London. You can go there and you can do research and you can read it. All these kinds of reports that have been filed. And then somebody asked me, do you feel offended that he said such a terrible thing about the Upanishads? I said, not at all. Because of his service, his seva, the Upanishads were saved. Really. In a way, this is why it's the best kept secret, because it is open, it is right there, and yet what? It is, even if it is taught, it is not understood. Shrutvapi naveda kaschit. So this being the case, that is why the next section here is begun. Verse number 64. Sarvaguhyatamam bhuyah Shrinu me paramam vachah Ishtosi me dridhamati Tato vakshyami te hitam. So he says, bhuyah, again, once more. Please listen to me. This is the final teaching. Paramam vachaha, final teaching. What is it? Guhyatamam. Sarva guhyatamam. So, everything, compared to everything, it's the secret of the secrets. It's just so much hidden. Nobody understands it. And yes, I have been telling you this, but there are little bit more. I want to just polish up this final teachings. Oh Arjuna, listen to me. Why should you listen to me? Because you are dear to me. Ishtosi me. Ishtosi me. And this is, why are you ishtaha? Because I know this for a certain fact. Dridam. For sure I know this, that you are beloved to me. You are very, very, very dear to me. And, just like we see in the Shastra, Om Brahma Devanam Prathamas Sambhabhuva, and then what? Swaputraya Vishwasya Karta Bhuvanasya, etc. And then Swaputraya Praha Atharvaya. So what one gives to one's child or somebody beloved, there will not be anything held back. Whereas in other branches of knowledge, there is always some competition. The musician will retain a few little tricks because they don't want the students to surpass them. The cook will retain a few little, pointers and ingredients from the recipe. Even the ingredients may be given, but how to combine them together may be just retained. But not a father or a mother teaching their own offspring, and not somebody like Lord Krishna teaching Arjuna, who is very, very, very beloved to him. So this statement that you are beloved to me is as much for Arjuna as it is for all of us. For all of us, meaning this is an authentic source of knowledge. Nothing is being held back. And even in these final stages of this knowledge, it is worth paying attention to, because if I have missed, even though it's a restatement, if I have missed anything in the past, this is the time to allow it to just allow myself to soak up in this teaching. This is the idea. And so he says, listen to this statement, most secret of all, because you are the most beloved of all. And what I want is hitam, te hitam. This is what he is speaking, not as Ishvara, not as Krishna, but as Mother Shruti herself. The Shruti, the teaching, is what? Very, very, very beautiful, because it is like 1,000 functional mothers, not dysfunctional mother, like 1,000 functional mothers who only wants your comfort and your benefit and your growth. And then after this there are two verses which are very, very important. One verse we have already encountered. Manmana bhava madbhaktaha madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Pratijane aham. Pratijane means I give you my word. I'm giving you my word. Sealed, signed, sealed and delivered. I give you my word. Meaning what? This is not to be taken lightly when Lord Krishna says I give you my word. Meaning what? you will cross this samsara. You will overcome this. There is no way that you will be left in between. You will overcome this. And then the same formula, please open to the 9th chapter at the end. The same formula that was given is given here. 34th verse of the 9th chapter. There's just a little bit of change, that's all. You see that? Manmana bhava madbhaktaha madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi. And then instead of the pratijane priyosime yuktva evam atmanam matparayanaha. Slight change, but it is exactly the same, because this shows how important the verse is. So this verse basically, first we'll just look at the translation. Manmana bhava, be the one whose mind is always in me, in Ishvara. Madbhakto bhava, we have to add bhava, bhava, bhava everywhere. Okay? Bhava, be a devotee of me. Worship me. May all your worship be to me. Madhyaji bhava. May namaskara means surrender. May you always surrender to who? Me. Mam namaskuru. Madhyaji bhava. Mam namaskuru. And then what? Mameva eshyasi. You will gain only me. You will gain only me. And this is the truth that I give my word. Why? Because priyaha asi. Tvam priyaha asi. You are dear to me. Therefore I am not misleading you. That you will be one with me. Not that you are not already one with me. You are one with me. But you will be one with me. How? Jnanena. By knowledge you will be one with me. This is what you have to understand. And again, these two verses, the one we just chanted and the one prior to it, talking about guhyat guhyataram jnanam, most secret of knowledge. Secret means what? Meaning it's something overlooked. Similarly here, we overlook this and we gloss over the whole bhakti portion. That is one meaning of this. And secondly, there is a not so much of a understanding about how to think of Bhagavan all the time. You can't think of Bhagavan. God, first thought. Next thought, God. Third thought, I see a dog. Yeah. Then naturally I think of the dog. What became to God? God became dog. And then what? Then I feel guilty. Ayo, I was told. Manmana bhava. And then now I'm not able to think of God. Again I think of God, and then it feels just simply odd because I'm not able to think of God. What to do now? Manmana bhava means, it's very beautiful meaning. It means don't look upon me as an object of thought. If you look upon me as an object of thought, I will be always elusive. This is very beautifully illustrated in Krishna's life story with the gopis. The gopis were dancing, and this tricky Krishna had promised all of them, I will dance only with you. For him it was simple. There have been 100 of them, 100 of gopis dancing in a circle, and all Krishna had to do was use his Maya Shakti to clone himself into so many Krishnas. And as long as the gopi who was dancing with this Krishna was completely immersed in the present and in the dance, she enjoyed this companionship of the Lord. But then, after a while, what would happen? Human nature. You get bored and you say, okay, what is that one? Let me show off. Krishna, let me show off to that one over there who is very annoying on the other side of the circle. That Krishna is dancing with me and me alone. And then as soon as she had that thought and she looked across to that woman, then she would see that Krishna had gone there and was not with her. And then there would be a missing. This is what happens when I want to, quote unquote, experience Brahman. Manmana bhava is not about experience. Manmana bhava is not about thinking of God. Manmana bhava means that be the one unto whom all that is here is nothing other than Bhagavan, starting with one's own body. Ishvara is the body, Ishvara is the one who is seeing the body, Ishvara is the mind, Ishvara is the sense organs, Ishvara is the entire Jagat, is just nothing but Ishvara, 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 Ishvara. God is not an object that can be enclosed in a thought. Ishvara is the truth of the thinker, the subject, the truth of the one who is that which is an object of thought, and the truth of the thought itself. Jnata, Jnanam, Jneyam. We have these kinds of tripods. Knower, known, means of knowing. Eater, eaten, means of eating. Tongue, taste, sense of taste, all these things. Usually we see them as separate. And if I am the eater, I am not the eaten. If I am the eaten, I am not the eater. That is why the person of knowledge sings in the Taittiriya Upanishad. It comes out in spontaneous song, improv. Ahamannam, ahamannam, ahimannam. I am nothing but the food. I am the food, I am the food. Oh, that means you are being eaten by everybody. No. Ahamannado, hamannado, hamannadaha. I am not only the food. What am I? I am the eater of the food. That oneness is talked about. Here also the same oneness. May you be the one who sees no difference between me and you and between this Jagat. May all the alienation, the sense of separation between Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, the individual, the universe and the Lord, may it completely come to a cessation. May it completely stop for you. All you have to do is see that. See that in every thought I am there. I am there as the thinker. I am there as the object of thought. I am there as that which is the which connects the object and the subject, the means of knowledge. I am the one who is non-separate from all this. All this is me. I am not any one of them. Manmana bhava. Just like the fabric is not separate from the shirt, I am not separate from the thought. Your thought. Just like the fabric is not separate from the shirt, I am non-separate from the content of your thought, the content of your knowing. You can't even imagine a shirt without fabric. Even if you say, oh, I'll make it out of plastic, that is the fabric. You can't imagine a shirt without a substance. Can you imagine? No. Unless we are talking of emperor's clothes. You can't imagine. You can't imagine a shirt without a substance. The shirt is totally dependent upon the fabric, like the pot is dependent upon clay, but it's not true the other way. What is the other way? The clay is not dependent upon pot, neither is the fabric dependent upon shirt. What is shirt but a dependent reality? Similarly, this differentiation, the thinker, thought, knower, known, is all a dependent reality, dependent upon what? I. The only thing that is independent, the only thing that is self-existent, the only thing that can be called real. Manmana bhava. And mad bhakto bhava means understand this. And when you understand this, everything shines as Ishvara. It's like that man who was lying down, an old man who was lying down in front of a Shiva temple, it is said, with his feet towards the temple. facing the Shivalinga. You don't stretch your feet out because the feet, have walked all over and everything, and it's a mark of disrespect. And so the temple priest gets very annoyed seeing him asleep like this. He says, "Hey, old man, move your feet." "Why? I'm asleep." "Move your feet because your feet is facing the temple. Feet are facing Shivalinga. Move your feet. It is disrespectful. Don't you know that?" He says, "I'm tired. I'm old. I'm sleepy. You only move the feet." And this one is even more irate. Pandit doesn't want to touch his feet. He's like, what is going on? But then he also doesn't want the feet to be facing his temple. So he drags the feet to a little bit this side. Let's say that is 12 o'clock. If you are imagining the face of a clock, then he puts it towards 3 o'clock. Very soon one Shivalinga forms there. Then he puts it to 6 o'clock. One more Shivalinga comes. Then he puts it to 9 o'clock. Another Shivalinga comes, and the Panditji and the old man are surrounded by Shivalingas. Yatra yatra mano yati, tatra tatra tavapada pankajam. First stage of understanding. Wherever the mind goes, there alone are your feet, O Lord. And the Pandit, of course, is humbled, and he understands that the Jnani here, the person of knowledge, was giving him an instant practical Vedanta lesson right then and there. And he understands that Bhagavan does not have a location as such. Whatever I see, that is Bhagavan. Seer is Bhagavan. Seen is Bhagavan. The act of seeing is Bhagavan. And knowing this is itself the devotion. This is itself the devotion. Offer everything to me. Why? Because it is all offered to me anyway. So yatra yatra mano yati, tatra tatra tava pada pankajam. There, wherever the mind wanders, there I see the lotus feet of the Lord, of the Goddess. Then that is the first stage of bhakti, which is jignasu bhakti. We saw 4 kinds of bhakti. The bhakti of the person wanting this knowledge is this kind of bhakti. Then the next stage is yatra yatra mano yati. Same first line. Wherever the mind goes, tatra tatra samadhayah. Right there is a oneness. A oneness incidence happens. We can't even call it an incidence because it is the truth. So I don't search. Oneness, where are you? I don't search. You who, where are you? I don't have to search for this oneness. If the mind happens to go, if the eyes go, and the mind behind the eyes happens to land on a flower, right there is oneness. Because I recognize that which is an object of sight, that which is seen is what? Non-separate from me, the seer. How is it non-separate from me? Because that flower is what? Consciousness. What am I? Unconsciousness. No, consciousness. Just checking, okay? Yeah. It's possible to be temporarily rendered unconscious in the Bhagavad Gita. So, speaking of samadhis, spontaneous samadhis can and do take place. So, what is the flower? Consciousness, awareness, Ishvara. And what am I? Consciousness. And the eyes that went from the subject, the knower, to the object, what are the eyes? Consciousness. Because the eyes are just organs of sight. Behind the eyes, so to speak, behind the eyes, they must be powered by consciousness in order to be able to render them to see. Consciousness. Everywhere, consciousness. This is that oneness. And that oneness cannot come without surrender. We cannot bypass Ishvara. That Ishvara has to be sought everywhere and seen everywhere as everything. And then only this knowledge, what is that? This is a mantra of prayer for the people who are not ready for Nididhyasana. The same mantra is also Nididhyasana. Then only the Jnana Nishtha comes. Very beautiful verse. And we've seen this in detail, so I just thought We will see it a little more today. And then what will happen? Mameva eshyasi. You will definitely reach me. It is in future tense, but actually it should be in present tense because you are nothing but one with me. But why is it in future tense? Because the Arjuna is still in the process of knowing. That's why. It's a process of knowing. He is already one with Ishvara, but he has yet to know that fact. And then Mameva eshyasi satyam te pratijane. This is the truth. This is a truthful word. I am giving you a pratigna, a promise, because why? You are dear to me. And then the next verse is extremely confusing because it seems to negate everything that we have studied so far, just to give a final twist on the Gita. Sarva dharman parityajya Mamekam sharanam vraja Aham tva sarva papebhyah Mokshayishyami ma shuchah. Yeah, don't say Hari Om etc. because that is only at real time. So, very important verse and very high level also. Total, it has everything, it has just only Vedanta. It's very, very beautiful. So, but on the face of it, it looks like it's contrary to everything that we have studied. So we know this much. Sarva dharma. Dharma we know. Right? And what has this Gita been about other than dharma? It has been dharma, dharma, dharma. We were just sort of filled up with dharma. We were fed up of learning so much about dharma. Here a dharma, there a dharma, everywhere dharma, dharma, dharma. So much dharma, so little time. And what? So many kinds of dharma. Samanya dharma. And then what? Vishesha dharma. And then Swadharma. So many dharmas. All these dharma. And then community dharma. Every other dharma. What are the responsibilities? What do I have to do? And what is right? What is wrong? And don't do anything wrong. All these things. And the Gita, which was presented almost as a Dharma Shastra, is now telling, give up all Dharma. Give up all Dharma. An objection is raised, which Adi Shankara himself raises in the Bhashya, in the commentary, and answers. Sarva Dharman Parityajya means if the person studying the Gita gives up all dharmas, then that means what? Woohoo! The course has ended. Yay! I can do whatever I like. And not only I can do whatever I like, I can pillage, I can go and steal, I can tell lies, I can do as I want. Because why? The Lord himself is saying, Lord Krishna is himself saying, give up all dharma. No, that is not what is. Therefore, the word dharma must have another meaning. And Adi Shankara gives the meaning, give up dharma and adharma. Go back straight to the Kathopanishad. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat, anyatra asmat, kritat akritat, anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha, yat pashyasi dadvada. There also, little Nachiketa, who is wise beyond his years, asks Lord Yama, what? Teach me that which is other than this dharma, adharma dyad. Right, wrong, good, bad. Yes, no. We are caught in dyads. When we are in the universe, there are always opposites. Hot, cold, good, bad, yes, no, what else? Right, wrong, like, don't like, dislike, all these are dyads. We are caught in myriad dyads. We are keeping on being caught in dyads. And then, if I say I am going to choose the good, it is still being caught in that dyad. Because what is good for you may not be good for me. What is bad for you may not be bad for me. One person wants to sell an old car. Selling that is good for that person. Another person is desperate to buy a cheap car. Buying a cheap car is good for that person. The first person wants to sell the car because it is bekar, because it is useless. The second person wants to buy a car because they don't have that much money and they want to get whatever they can. So who decides what is good? Who decides what is bad? It is all but a subjective decision. Totally subjective decision. And so if it is a subjective decision and a subjective orientation, subjective statement, that means that even when I say things like which many theologies say, God must be good, God is all good. But if God is all good, then why are so many people dying? Why are there so many wars? Why is there thievery? Why is there all these things? We don't have an answer. So that's why we don't say God is all good. And neither do we say God is infallible. Ishvara is infallible, you will never hear us say. You will never hear in Vedanta where Ishvara is called infallible. We put it upside down. That which is infallible is Ishvara. If I say Ishvara is infallible, then whenever my desires are fulfilled, I will say, yes, you are infallible, you know what I wanted and you gave it to me. And as soon as I don't get what I want, what do I tell Ishvara? You made a mistake. The promotion should have come to me, not to the idiot to whom it went. What is wrong with you? You see, this is the thing. So we are stuck in dyads, and as dyad means groups of two. Oppositional, diametrically opposite pairs are called dyads. So we are stuck in a whole world, a myriad of dyads. And then as a result there is suffering. Even if you choose the good side of that dyad, still there is suffering. Because it is all a subjective understanding. And so here, anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat means that which is beyond karma. Because dharma means punya, generated by karma, and then adharma means papa, generated again by what? Karma. What else? So therefore, this is what Nachiketa was also asking. So good, bad, etc. subjective, papa, punya subjective. Tell me that which is not in this dyad of papa, punya. Papa you can't translate. Papa means what? Uncomfortable situations gained as a result of difficult actions that go against dharma. Speaking of dharma. What is punya? Comfortable situations enjoyed here or some other life hereafter because of actions done in tandem with dharma. And so here, when I get addicted to dharma, meaning I am addicted to punya, I am addicted to good karma, I become a punya hog. I want more and more and more punya. Some people are like that. And then what will happen? One will be born with a golden spoon in the mouth, a diamond spoon in the mouth. Vedanta is far away. All that comes to mind is shopping till the person is dropping. That's all that will come in the mind. Nothing else. Because there is too much money, there is too many resources, and there is not enough impetus to look into and oneself, have some vichara, enquiry, introspection. And so here the punya also, I just say, I don't want to deal with this. The papa also I leave behind. And this is what is the injunction here. Sarva dharman. Sarva dharman means sarva karmani parityajya. So many layers of meanings are there, but first meaning is papa punya, that don't be so focused on the results of action. Same teaching from before. Don't be so focused on the karma phala. Papa punya, leave and come to me. Who is this me? And then many people take this literally, especially the Hare Krishna group. They will take it literally and they will say, Bhagavan says, only if you worship Krishna, then only you will have moksha. If you worship anybody else, moksha, it will not come. That is not true. But here, what is this me? We have to do some mimamsa, which we will do. Mimamsa means analysis, which we will do when? Tomorrow. Tonight is, I thought it will be good to go through the 28th, whatever is happening on the 28th. Siddha is taking care of the, what's its name, the sequence of events. Okay? I don't need to come, should I? You can handle it yourself, right? Say yes.
Maybe.
Well, if you want me to come, give me a call, I will manifest. All right? Otherwise, yeah, I will manifest. Otherwise, I will just take rest. All right? Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.